World's largest humanitarian crisis isn't in Syria. It's in Yemen.
Yemen is quite simply the most distressing place I've ever been.
People is dying in Yemen. People is starving. Hospital is closed. What they are doing in Yemen? They should help us. Otherwise, what are they doing in Yemen?
All at a time when 16 million Yemenis face acute food insecurity and there's a shortfall in international aid donations. Do you think that the war has impacted the ability for people to feed their kids right?
I think the war is the main cause of this problem.
It must be so frustrating for you.
Some children stay here with me for three weeks and they die. It's very sad.
لا نسمع من الأمم المتحدة ومن المجتمع الدولي سوى الإدانات والتصريحات الإعلامية والشعور بالقلق.
ووجدك عائلا فأغنى.
Did you know the first ever coffee was brewed in Yemen? Hello everyone, my name is Sinia.
My name is Jessica, and today, as a part of our Politics and Society project, we will be discussing Yemen, labelled as the world's worst humanitarian crisis by Concern Worldwide.
We decided it's best to reach out to young people alike through a form of social media, as we believe it's important to know more about current affairs, especially one that isn't currently talked about in the Western world due to other conflicts that involve the US.
We first heard about the extreme conditions in Yemen from activists from social media. That inspired us to focus our project on non-governmental organisations and how much support they produce for a country.
We will be covering 4 bases: the origins of Yemen's poverty, current affairs, how non-profits help the cause, and how we can help. Starting with the country's history, the original name for Yemen was Arabia Felix, meaning Happy Arabia, but that's far from what we see today.
The Republic of Yemen is a country in West Asia located in the south end of the Arabian Peninsula, with a current population of 34 million.
Yemen was already considered one of the poorest countries in the Middle East and Arab region, and in 2014, an armed conflict between the Yemeni government and the Houthis, a political organization originating in Sana'a, due to a failed political transition.
Since 2014, the continuous civil war, 150,000 Yemenis have been killed in fighting, and over 11,000 children have been wounded or killed as a direct result of fighting.
This has left 3 million people displaced, 80% of the country's population, 24.1 million, are food insecure, 14 million people are in acute need, 70% of Yemeni children don't have access to clean water and basic sanitation, as well as 2 million children are out of school.
Yemen is going through a severe lack of resources, such as water, healthcare and education. 1 in every 4 educational facilities have been destroyed.
The UN states that 3 million Yemenis don't have access to safe and acceptable water for personal and domestic uses. This includes cooking, drinking, and sanitation.
Yemen faces one of the worst epidemic sprouts of cholera in modern history.
The outbreak peaked in 2017 with over 2,000 deaths in relation to this.
In 2019, Yemen accounted for 93% of all cholera cases in the world, and a majority of these being children.
We want to emphasize that Yemen does not have the healthcare facilities to fight any disease, since around half of the healthcare systems put in place are out of service, with 20.1 million Yemenis lacking basic healthcare.
The non-profit organisation we have chosen to research and share is the Yemen Relief and Reconstruction Foundation, founded by Aisha Juman.
Their aims are to increase awareness among the US public and policymakers about the humanitarian crisis in Yemen.
We're going to refer to it as the YRRF from this point on. The YRRF was founded in 2017 and is volunteer-based. From board directors to staff, 95% of donations go directly to people in need through direct channels.
The YRRF stands for Reflecting All Forms of Coercion, Violence and Oppression. They currently have 8 projects running in relation to helping Yemen, and one of the most important is their water project.
As we have mentioned earlier, roughly 18 million Yemenis don't have access to clean water, a ninth of these being children. The YRF recognises that filtered drinking water is the key to preventing diseases such as cholera.
They have distributed over 3,200 water filters to places with cholera densities, including refugee camps in Aden, Laj.
In Yemen, an estimate of 18.4 million are at risk of famine. The YRF provides food baskets to families in need, reaching places that are inaccessible. Each of these food baskets supports a family of 6 for 1 month, as well as sending 2 kilograms of meat to each family.
These food baskets have helped over 29,000 people as of 2020. Another just as important, in our opinion, program is the school support program.
According to UNICEF, out of 7 million Yemeni children, 2 million are out of school. The school infrastructures are badly damaged and learning materials are in short supply. In 2019, the YRF provided 2,300 school bags to children in Sana'a Al-Jaf and Hudayad, all of which are areas of active fighting. As well as this, the YRF prints out PDF formats of school books to families who need them.
Other projects of YRRF include the Medicine and Medical Supplies Program, a Winter Support Program, the Orphan Support Program, and the Income Program. The role of YRRF in Yemen is crucial, and the Western world needs to realize how much Yemen is supported from NGOs, especially after the UN have cut off their access to food distribution in Houthi-controlled areas. And the media gives Yemen very little to no coverage unless it's in relation to the Houthis stopping ships from entering Israel in the Red Sea.
Over half of Yemen is starving and are in need of help. Here are ways to do it.
Donate to a trusted NGO. In this case, we support and encourage donations to the Yemen Relief and Reconstruction Foundation.
Another way you can help is to advocate for Yemen. Follow the Yemen Alliance Committee to stay up to date on ways you can do so. Reach out to local politicians and policymakers to speak up about Yemen and charities that support them.
And most simple form of support you can give is to spread awareness. Talk to friends, classmates, co-workers, spread articles on social media, even share this podcast to friends and family.
This costs nothing but your time, and time is something Yemen is running out of.
Thanks for listening. We've been Sinia
and Jessica.
Thank you so much.